Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Music Matters in That podcast. I'm your host, Brian, and today welcome to a special guest. We got the folks from Hillbilly Riot. How y'all doing today?
Good.
Doing good.
Thanks for having us.
No worries.
All of us minus one.
Yeah. Actually, are you a four-piece group, or I guess is it just strictly you three?
No, we're a four-piece.
Yeah.
We're missing our drummer today.
All right, sounds good. But just to fill everybody in, we got Bud, Ash, and Gage. We're going to be representing Hillbilly Riot today. So I guess what part of the world are you guys hailing from?
We're in Western Colorado.
Western Slope, Colorado.
Are you more close to like Boulder, Denver, or
More west. We're
Delta.
Delta, Grand Junction.
So we're maybe an hour from the Utah border.
all right, sounds good. So is this your first time doing an interview? I'm not sure how long you guys have been around in the music scene.
This is our first interview, yeah. I'm one of the founding members as well as our drummer Phil, and we've had this band about 15 years now. And we but just recently we really started getting some traction and playing bigger shows and getting a little bit more stuff put out online.
All right. I guess speaking of which, I guess what's new? I guess you guys got some new material and I guess some shows lined up.
Well, and the band has changed a lot. So
Yeah.
Phil, the one we're missing today, my father. The band, I think it's a little longer than 15 years the band has been going, but basically as a child, I've watched this band grow up and play bar shows all over the place all the time and practice all the time in the living room while I try to play games while they're practicing right in front of me. And then another founding member, Al, who hasn't been in the band for quite a bit now, I kind of got to the age where I took over, and then she got drug in with me too, and then we just got a lot stronger when we transitioned to a four-piece. It added more, gave us more things we can do. And when we joined, I was filling in for bass. I didn't play guitar at all, and then Ashton stole bass from me.
Yeah, I didn't even play bass for a while either. He actually fully taught me bass from playing guitar.
Yeah, so
The student becomes a master. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely a kind of new for us to be the full four-piece. And we just released our first studio album, Maximum Horsepower. Or no, the album's name is Horsepower, but the
Title track.
The title track is Maximum Horsepower. It's pretty cool album. We like to mix up our styles a lot, so you have everything from metal to punk rock to grunge and everything, a little bit of country western stuff. We just do whatever we want. We stopped caring about genres a long time ago, so we had a good time with that. And so far people seem to like the album. It's fun to listen to.
Yeah, I was checking it out. I think it was a Crawler and some of it all, I guess, have been the big ones so far. He's getting the most streams more strictly on Spotify. Not sure if those are some of your singles, or I guess which ones do you feel like have been like your best ones?
Maximum Horsepower definitely has had probably the most hits. And
For sure.
It seems to crawl its way up to the top of the list. Anytime it goes down, it seems to find its way back up. But I've been pushing our song Down the Line pretty hard, which is the first one featuring Ashlyn on vocals, and it's climbed up pretty quick. I kind of knew it would too, because it's just such a catchy, just very classic feeling song. So we're seeing that one climb in numbers pretty quick as well.
And some of it all, like you mentioned, I've known, especially at live shows, that one always goes very well. A lot of people are drawn to that one. Because especially live. Yeah, we all change around for that one. Exactly. Live. We all change instruments live.
I play drums on that one, and
I'm guitar.
And then he plays
bass.
the
bass back.
and then Ashlyn plays guitar, and then Phil,
Our drummer plays guitar.
yeah, he plays like the slide
All
guitar.
of us change around for this one song.
So that's
That's
one
it.
of my favorites.
I would say it's definitely like a musical chairs, like what we were referencing earlier. So, all right, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we end song, Russ get a different instrument, and I'll play song.
Yeah, I like that song a lot. It's got a cool feel to it. It's got the slide guitar, and so it kind of mixes almost kind of a new metal kind of feel, but throws in kind of a Western kind of touch, So it's just a fun song. It's one of my favorites that we've had for quite a while now.
I also helped write a lot of the lyrics on that one as well.
What song was it? Was it the Down the Line?
Some of it all, that
Yeah.
one, where
Yeah.
we change around.
Some of it all is the one we change around for, yeah. Now, Down the Line, that's our first one featuring Ashlyn on vocals.
Yeah.
We are just about done with the album, and we want to press it to vinyl, so we kind of timed out the length of all the songs and realized we needed one more song to really fill up a vinyl press. And I kind of had that riff that I was messing around with for a while, and I was like, I got this riff, but I don't want to sing. I already have enough singing on the album. I want someone else to sing this one. And I mean, I think it was like a matter of minutes before Ashlyn was writing up some lyrics, and the three of us were kind of putting the music together, and the song came together very naturally and very organically. And it's just been just a cool song to play. Every time we play it, I have a good time with that one.
All right, sounds good. And you get to elaborate more on the music and everything else here too, just a little bit. But first off, gentlemen and lady, welcome to my podcast. And the way it's going to work is I just want to ask you guys some questions, get to know you more, both as the individuals, but also as the musicians as well here too. So hope you had time to study. So you ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Bud, we'll start with you, then we'll just work our way down the line. Just make it easy that way. So, I guess, Bud, tell us your backstory of how you became a musician.
My mom always played guitar and sang real good. She was always really good at that, and so I always had access to a guitar laying around. And my dad raised us on Black Sabbath and Alice Cooper, and so I was kind of immersed in it to an extent. My mom wasn't super professional. She just pick up and play around the house once in a while. And when I think I got around like 11 or 12 years old, they bought me a guitar, an electric guitar, and got me some lessons. And from there I really liked being able to just create my own music. And I learned quite a few other people's music too, but I liked the creative side where I could make my own thing, and I just loved it, ever since.
That's pretty cool. And I guess, speaking of Black Sabbath, I guess, do you have any memories of Black Sabbath? I guess when you first started listening to his music or saw him live?
Oh, I never got a chance to see the Master live.
I did.
I know, it's not fair.
Yeah.
No.
I saw them on the end tour, February something 2016 in 2014 or 13 in Denver. No, it's 14. Yeah. It was in Denver. I was there. I was like
6.
No, I'm not that young.
You're short.
That's close,
That's
but
when you
not
were
that
short.
close. I think it was like 10. No, I was 9. I was 9, almost 10.
Okay. That
I
makes
was
sense.
9 years old. I saw Sabbath on the end tour. It was awesome.
I got to see I've seen Alice Cooper a few times. My dad's brought me to a couple of his shows when I was younger. I kind of when I got more into the teenage years, I started getting more and more into like hardcore punk rock. So that was the bands I went and saw. I went and saw No Effects, The Exploited. I kind of liked the heavier style punk stuff, Pennywise, stuff like that. And so when I did come of age to go to my own concerts, that was more my choice of music I would go out of my way to see.
It's funny when you mention about the exploited too, especially when they have the song USA, when it's like completely disrespecting America in that case. So
Yeah,
For sure.
that's some funny
Yeah.
dudes.
they are. Yeah, I've met Waddy a couple times at the shows, just briefly. I was never one to go oogle and idolize those guys. So it was more a quick handshake and maybe a short conversation. But he's just funny. Them hardcore punk rockers seem so nasty, and sketchy, and then you meet them and they're just these kind of nice guys. They're pretty laid back most times.
Well, that's how it is even in the metal world here too. I mean, you have guys who will just talk about murder and that sort of stuff, and they're the nicest guys you ever know.
They always own cats and stuff
You
too.
get all your,
They always own cats.
It's always cats.
you get all your energy out, and everything else is fine.
For me, when I discovered Slayer was that was my door into the metal world. When I first heard Slayer, that opened up a whole new world for me right there. And from there I got into Cannibal Corpse and Deicide, and I've been on a big Amon Amarth kick lately. I like some Viking metal.
Next thing you know, you see Johan Heg like doing figure eights down like some sort of godforsaken ice lake or something in Sweden or whatever.
Oh, really?
I forget where it was at, but he was ice skating. So yeah, I mean he could sign up for the Olympics.
Well, he was ice skating.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about. He was in figure eights.
I was thinking he's out there rallying around some freaking off-road truck or something. But he's out there skating it up, huh? Yeah. I guess that makes sense with the part of the world he's from.
Yeah.
No, those are donuts when you do it with the car and get it spinning around. Just do it that way. Get those screeching and everything.
Nice.
All right. But I guess moving down the line, I guess Ash, what's your story?
So, let's see. I sang before I talked, actually. I grew up with a lot of what people would call like divorced dad rock now, like Nickelback, 3 Days Grace, Chevelle, Seether. I grew up with all of that. And actually the first song that I ever sang, I think I was like, I don't know, I was really young, so I don't remember. But my mom told me I started singing in the back seat to the song called Echo. I can't remember the band's name for the life of me, but it was my favorite song, and I started singing before I could talk. So that's kind of how I started. And then, of course, I got into pop as well. I loved Miley Cyrus. I was like absolutely obsessed with Hannah Montana. And then, who else? Katy Perry, of course. So that was a lot of early inspiration for me. And I would get in trouble at school for singing all the time. I would sing in the shower. I would sing while reading. And so I was always the kid who would get in trouble for singing and be like in the back of the class,
You did sing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you did lots of choir in school, don't forget.
Oh, yeah. Of course. There was choir, too. I started choir in the 6th grade. And then I was just such a nerd about it. I couldn't take how unserious people were. So I ended up quitting sophomore year because I was in 2 choirs by that point. One where you have to try out to get into that choir. And it still made me mad that there was people there that just didn't take it seriously. And we would go out on stage and sound like shit because people wouldn't show up to practice. And so I was just way too much of a nerd about it. And I ended up quitting for my own good.
for my own mental health reasons, I have to resign from this choir.
I just
So, yeah, I can totally understand there too. Actually, as soon as you said Miley Cyrus, I guess what do you think when she came out with Wrecking Ball?
I wasn't too big of a fan of that phase, honestly, which I think a lot of Miley Cyrus fans were kind of baffled by that because the song was beautiful, but then the music video was like god awful. And you were like, what is she doing? And yeah, I wasn't too big of a fan of her after that. I've started listening to her again recently because she just released a new album. So I listened to that whole album and I loved it. And she did this live performance, I think maybe it was in Italy, but it was on Spotify. And she did a live performance of all of her songs with like an orchestra. And it was beautiful. Like, she's still such a talented singer.
You're cold and Metallica.
Yeah, I guess you still got it. All right. We'll go back to the story a little bit, how you joined Hillbilly Riot, but I guess let's get Gage's story real quick.
Well, actually, on Ashland's more, around the time when she quit choir and all of that was around the time when I started teaching her bass and stuff. And even earlier than that, she got a guitar, an acoustic guitar for Christmas, but just never really took into it and just never really got into it and didn't really try it at all. And then one day she got this, some random friend gave her the shittiest, crappiest bass I've ever seen still, but like functional bass. Like it's horrible. It came with an equally horrible amp and a cord, and like the frets are like longer than the neck.
Yeah, they
and
would slice your fingers. Down it,
they like actually cut you and like make you bleed.
And it was just like the cheapest piece
And
of plastic.
she loved that stupid bass.
Oh, I still love it.
Does. She just started playing the hell out of this bass.
That's why I'm so good at bass.
And then suddenly got the spark, got interested, and I gave her a bunch of lessons.
And we kind of started right in the middle too, because I don't know, if things aren't really interesting to me, I kind of drop them quick. Like, I tried a bunch of different instruments before getting into bass. Like, I had a whole drum set in my room for a while, and I think I played that drum set like 3 times maybe.
In a matter of like 2 years.
Yeah. But then when I got that shitty bass, just
non-stop,
I loved it so much. But even what I liked about it is it was physically hard to play. Like, it took a lot of effort to be able to play it. Well, besides cutting yourself on the frets, it was also the bone, the nut at the top was the action was so high.
All of the action.
Yeah, it was so high.
It has the tallest action.
That you would have to press down really, really hard to actually be able to play, especially when you get to the higher frets.
It's hilarious.
And so I got really good at playing bass from rocking that shitty thing.
That's around the time when I was filling in for bass. And Riot was still kind of a three-piece. It was bass, Bud on guitar, and my dad, Phil, on drums. And then around that time, Ashton picked up on bass really damn fast, and it started with she wanted to learn one Hillbilly Riot song. I think it was Realize. And she really liked it, and she learned it, and then played it with us.
There's also Above the Frost.
And I got booted off of bass, and then I played guitar with Bud, so we have dual guitar now.
We originally this band originally formed in Clear Creek County, Colorado, which is
a lot closer to Denver.
It's a lot closer to Denver. It's up in the high mountains. It's as mountain as it gets. And we started as a 3-piece. I was actually working in this restaurant in Georgetown as a cook, and they hired this new guy, Al, and I was actually listening to Dayglow Abortions, and Al, it just started, and he comes in the kitchen and says, "Are you listening to Dayglow Abortions?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, dude." And he's like, "I didn't know people in these little mountain towns listen to stuff like this, and he was just like, "You wouldn't happen to be a slightly mentally unstable, crazy ass guitar player?" I'm like, "I just happen to be exactly that." And he's like, well, I just happen to be a kick-ass bass player with a kick-ass drummer who's looking for a guy like that. And so we started jamming, and I kind of started the band, and we did that for a long time, the three of us, and ultimately those mountain towns, they started getting harder and harder to survive in. The cost of living was through the roof, and Phil had an opportunity to move out here to the Western Slope that he couldn't pass up, so he did that, and we balanced for a while with him traveling to the mountains, and we would travel out here. We'd take turns traveling to practice with each other, and the more and more I came out here, the more I started liking it. The Grand Junction scene is excellent. It's got a good punk and metal following, and so ultimately I decided I wanted to move out this way too. We love Al. He's an excellent bass player, and we miss him, dearly. But his life developed out there in Clear Creek County, and he kind of made the decision that he wanted to stay there. And he married a girl who had a couple kids, and he decided he wanted to do the right thing and raise those kids, and be there for them. And we miss him. He's an excellent bass player, excellent part of the band. But he kind of stepped up to the plate, and I respect that he was willing to do that. So, we took on these guys, and it really pushed the band to new limits. Now that we're the 4-piece, and Ashlyn's such a strong vocalist, we like to change our vocalists around a lot. You can hear that on the album, and Gage being an awesome lead guitar player. I've never been that great at lead. I can write rhythms and big riffs all day. And he makes these leads that just complement the stuff I write so well. We've definitely hit a new level, and we're finding ourselves opening for bigger and bigger shows. We've opened for Soulfly. We've opened for, Guttermouth, Agent Orange, some of my favorite bands, and we've been honored enough to open for them, and it's been going good.
What was our most recent show?
We just opened for Cancer Slug.
Yes, Cancer Slug was so great.
Yeah, we had a good time with that.
Yeah, my neck hurt for like a whole week afterwards because I was headbanging to every song the whole set.
They're fun.
And I stopped like the last song because my neck got so stiff. I was like, oh, I need to go outside.
And Gage, he's been playing with this. He's our drummer's son, so he's been around the band since he was born, and he performed on stage with us for the first time at like 11 years old. We played Electric Funeral live, and we did this kick-ass version of that. And
where was that? That was somewhere in Denver.
It was in Denver at a place called The Venue, and he's just a natural. He's been immersed in it his whole life. He's just a natural. And it was only a matter of time before he ended up in the band one way or the other. So that's kind of his story of how he joined up with Hillbilly Riot.
From as early memory as I have. I've always been submerged in music from all sides. So not only just the band itself being in the house, the band practice spot was me and my dad's living room. There was a drum set and amps in the corner, and you bust everything out and take over everything. And I try to watch through everyone and play Xbox. And I'm just constantly surrounded by that. And then also my family in general has just always been super endorsed in music. I learned a lot just from being surrounded by the band, like constantly, but I also learned a lot from my uncle and other family members. But on guitar, mostly my uncle. He taught me a lot, and he is a very excellent, proper guitar player. And I learned a lot from him and just kept going off on my own, watching band literally almost every day, every other day, a couple times a week, band in living room.
Yeah.
All the time, like my whole childhood life.
Well, that explains how Hillbilly Riot came about right there, too. Plus, as an added bonus, I guess they had to worry about Gage going off to college and then paying his intuition, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going.
That's good thinking.
No,
that's fine. So, yeah.
But
he's also becoming a pretty good mechanic. All of us we like to build all hot rods and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, our side other hobby.
So he's getting to know his way around building all the cool classic cars. Same with Ashlyn. She's also getting pretty knowledgeable in building cool stuff like that. So
which makes sense because there's a lot of different car songs in our material.
Their future looks bright and badass at the same time.
But in the band, about the time when the whole band was kind of moving over here to the Western Slope and Al wasn't making it to practice, I started to step in on bass, and it was extremely natural because I'm already exactly familiar with all of the material ever, even material they don't play, because I've just been surrounded by all of it. I've been to almost all of the practices ever, even way before I was in the band, because they were just always around me, always. So it just happened fast, and then Ashton just caught right on, and then we've just gotten way bigger and stronger.
It was easy with the coming out of choir, like being able to train your ear and be able to
Ashton's
hear
always
notes.
had a good ear.
Exactly. And choir really helped with that and learning.
Ashton was playing shows with us like within less than a year
Oh,
of
yeah.
her ever playing bass for the first time.
Like the first recordings of me up there, you could tell. I was like looking down the whole
some
time.
of our old
It
videos.
was bad.
Like she did good, but you could tell she was like extremely just like I'm just got taught this yesterday, like
Totally.
bass player. But she just did awesome and still excelling.
I think we even played our first show with my shitty bass too.
No, I
You
think
sure?
no, I think by the first, I think we made it a purpose to get you a good bass.
Oh yeah, because it was
beforehand.
so bad.
It's not stove. It was not bar stage show quality.
Yeah, not even that.
It is a cool body style though. It's got kind of this cool aggressive body style. I always liked the way it looked. You know, I was like, it plays all right. It looks
like
cool.
It's like a 20-footer bass, like on a car, but it looks like a great bass from like 20, 30 feet away.
Yeah, it looks like a giant piece of plastic up close. And of course, since it was so cheap, I stickered the shit out of it because I was going through a phase where I was stickering everything. So, like, even my car had stickers on it, and I've taken them off now because I'm like, that's embarrassing. I don't need all those stickers on there.
Our guitar cases is where
That's
all
different,
of our stickers
yeah.
go.
That's better.
One collective sticker bomb of guitar case.
I've got to say, like Gage, it was your life's mission to give Ash a different bass at this point. So
Yeah,
I think both me and my dad kind of pitched in, and we got it for, I forget which birthday it was, but we got it for her birthday.
I think
We got her a bass.
my 19th birthday.
Something like that.
Yeah.
No, it might have been earlier than that.
18th.
I think she has like 3 or 4 basses now.
Yep.
Her primary one is a 5-string. What's it? Who makes it?
It's a Tajima.
Tajima 5-string.
Which and her first good bass was also a Tajima.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I picked out the 5-string.
And she's got a cool black SG bass, but that 5-string it's hefty. She wields that thing, man. It's got some weight to it.
Yeah, definitely. I have to go at least like once a month and go get like a massage to get all the knots out of my shoulders and out of my arms, especially too. Because you just, when you're playing super hard, you really get those tense muscles, and it gets hard to play after a while when your muscles are so tense all the time.
I guess before we jump into the gear, I guess who came up with the name Hillbilly Riot? Was it Phil?
Yeah, I'd credit Phil with coming up with the name. We started. I think our first name was Ram Skull,
Yeah.
and we were kind of pretty much just wanting to do just straight by the book metal, And Phil actually was in a really nasty car wreck. He had a head on with a drunk driver.
65.
It was pretty nasty, and he had all kinds of stuff broken. He's pretty much a robot now. He's all metal. And when we started back again, he was kind of having like almost like some PTSD where playing heavy and fast was kind of mentally messing with him a little bit, and he kind of was like, we could start playing like some kind of different stuff, and which was cool because I kind of wanted to write some, I wanted to just write whatever. I don't really like to be stuck with one style. And
Exactly.
He also bought an electric drum kit so he could get back to playing quicker too,
it was a little easy, yeah.
which like totally changed the sound of everything, which kind of makes you want to write different stuff, and you got this different sounding tool.
So it did it, and it was a little lighter on his body to play that, I mean, since then we've gone back to full on double kick, big kits and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
full acoustic kit.
So
he played an electric kit for a while.
With that, like, he was kind of like, we started kind of writing some different style stuff. Decided we'd kind of open up our spectrum a little bit, and decided that since we weren't going to be a straight metal band, kind of come up with a different name, and we threw some name ideas around. And I think it was literally the conversation was like, he was like, "We're trying something like, I don't know, like we're all from the mountains," and he's like, "Hillbilly something," and he did like a couple different ones. And at one point, I think he said Hillbilly Riot, and I was like, "Yeah, Hillbilly Riot. I like that. Let's go with that." And so yeah, I definitely I credit Phil with the name, and it kicks ass. I think it fits us good because it's got a little edge to it, but it also indicates that we're kind of like living up in the woods. We're kind of small town folk, so it's got enough edge. We're allowed to play metal, but it's got enough twang. We're allowed to play some Western if we want.
I think if anybody sees Hillbilly, I think they're going to assume you're probably a redneck or something. So,
well, most people assume we're like a rockabilly band.
Yeah,
that's
the
normally the
biggest
number one
assumption.
thing that kind of comes up, and which is cool with me because I like psychobilly, I like Tiger Army and stuff like that, and but I will say we have yet to write a rockabilly song.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, I would have thought of Southern Rock, like what you get with the Leonard Skinner and some of those other guys.
Sure. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. You can definitely think we're a Southern rock band off that name. For sure. Which we like all that stuff too. We, I think the beauty, one of the cool things about the band is that we're not all just punk rockers or metalheads. We all come from different tastes, different influences, and as a result, our writing style reflects that.
Yeah, different songs are definitely like primary one or two persons more song, more their style. Especially like when someone like songs where you sing or songs where Phil sings, songs where Ashton
Yeah,
sings.
exactly.
They just kind of all have their own. It makes it. I like it because it makes it less boring. Like if you listen to a full album, it's so different. It's like a roller coaster, and it's not as consistent, but it's really good.
It's like we love supporting local rock shows and metal, but even sometimes when you're sitting through like 4 hours of nonstop screaming and banging and fast drum beats, you're sitting there like.
It's just fun because it lets us write whatever we want.
Exactly.
Just whatever comes out, we just make it, and it's ours, so we decide it, and now it exists.
At least we could say if all else fails, we could try a reality TV show of you guys remaking the Cars, like what they do on History Channel.
That is actually very possible.
That is so possible.
Reality TV show shenanigans occur to us on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get like where we are like making some videos. We with our album we recorded in the studio, when the engineer would cut the final mix, I'd always have him make a instrumental mix, and that does leave us open to like we can start documenting some of our car builds and have
Time
our music. We don't have we don't have to
fun.
ask for rights to in the background, but it's an instrumental cut, so it's you get where I'm going.
That's one thing you see a lot on YouTube channels of any sort is on big time lapse stuff. You'll hear the same royalty free tracks on so many different channels by just whoever, because they all they find the same group of free to use music, just time lapse music or whatever they're using.
So we definitely I'm hoping now we got all the work on the album done. I'm hoping to do a little video work here over the next year and we're already like 3 songs deep into the next album we're working on, but we're gonna turn out some cool stuff, I can tell.
I'd say definitely something to promote the YouTube channel if you guys got one.
Yeah,
Do we have
we have our YouTube, our Hillbilly Riot, because we have I think the only official music video on there is like Backcountry, but we have some small videos. It definitely needs a little sprucing up. So
It needs attention.
yeah, we're gonna try and kind of get back into the flow of that. But we do have a Hillbilly Riot YouTube channel. It's not the most exciting thing to watch right now.
Not yet. So that's what I'm saying. We're playing the idea, pitch the idea for the reality TV show of car building. So
That idea. For
Hillbilly Hot Rods.
Yeah, there you go.
see, now you're thinking. All right.
Yeah.
Earlier you had mentioned about the music scene in around Grand Junction there, and I guess first off, how's it been since COVID? Is it kind of rebounded, or were you kind of referring to it like before COVID had hit?
So
It's definitely rebounded more than we thought it would.
Oh yeah.
It's been really good lately.
Even with like local like festivals and stuff. Like for instance, up here in Cedar Ridge, we have a Apple Fest. Typically, it used to just be like just a couple people, the people in town. And after COVID, now you see like the whole town will be filled with people coming from everywhere.
People got so tired of being crammed in that they just want to explore.
Yeah.
Now. Like it was the
Exactly.
opposite of we thought. There was totally a time where we thought the music, it definitely changed the music scene a lot, but we thought it was gonna majorly just kind of stunt it.
But yeah, it's actually helped it in a way.
It's weird.
we opened for Soulfly, I think right before COVID really exploded. And so we were like, man, we just opened for this big band, like things are looking up, and all of a sudden it just dropped off. And one thing that kind of happened to us was, we used to play in Denver a lot, and we were doing pretty good. We were playing smaller venues, little dive bars, but we were filling them up pretty good. And a lot of those promoters and stuff, they didn't like survive COVID. Not like they died, but they had to drop off. They had to go find, some other means of making money, and a lot of them weren't able to come back. And it's kind of rough because we were kind of making our way up where we were maybe going to start playing some bigger shows in Denver, and we lost all our contacts. And to this day, it's all brand new people. I don't even know. I lost all the guys I used to call to set shows up with. So it did have that effect on us. And even Grand Junction, right after COVID, there was only like maybe 2 or 3 bands that were still going strong. And
But there's been tons of new bands coming out.
it's blown up in the last 2 years. Yeah.
And they're good too.
And it's just been getting more and more, and and even at some of these really tiny spots or super local spots, they get packed full. They just want to get out. It's thriving a lot over here.
I definitely want to, give a shout out, how much we appreciate Rick Christensen. He's the one that books us at the Mesa Theater. Because it's hard as a local band to get onto the touring bands, opening for these bigger touring bands. And he's been really cool as far as rotating through the local bands and giving them all a chance to play on the big stage and open for bigger bands. So Rick Christensen single-handedly really keeps that Junction scene alive.
And Bobby as well.
And Bobby, the sound man at the Mesa Theater, we love him, man. He's an excellent sound man.
A great sound.
And I know he has a lot to do with the say of who opens certain shows. And
Mesa Theater Grand Junction has been our big hot spot and a big Junction hot spot for a while now, and it's just been getting better.
That's good. But I guess still stick on COVID. I guess how bad was it for COVID for you guys personally, family, and anything else music wise?
So I moved out here. I think I was out here for like 6 months before COVID hit.
The time of COVID was kind of during the weird transition of the band members in a way. So the band kind of was changing and not doing that much right then anyway.
Yeah, so that was kind of lucky on that aspect. I mean, me and my wife, we did our wedding during all that, and we had already set it up before COVID really happened. And then when the date came around, finally, we had to do so much extra stuff. We had to space tables out, and out here on the Western Slope, they kind of weren't having it with all the all the mandates and stuff. So I went through all the trouble to space all the tables out and do all this stuff, and they all still just clustered together anyways. And I mean, I had a few people in my life that got it really bad and never fully recovered, and then even a couple that died. But I don't know. I think the biggest impact was just the political aspect of it, of the limitations.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to say that some of that stuff wasn't probably smart or wasn't a bad idea, because you never know how big something like that can get. So taking a few extra precautions, I've always been, I'm always okay with that. So it didn't have a huge effect on my life. It was just an inconvenience for a while.
COVID for me was definitely kind of a bigger effect. COVID started towards the end of my freshman year in high school. And so everyone got sent home. Next year, you could either stay and do online school, or you could go to school where everyone's all spaced out and wear masks, and you don't go half the time anyway. So I stayed online that whole year. My whole sophomore year, I got a new Chromebook and I did school online. And all I did was like stay at home, mess around with friends, and jam guitar. And
pot.
I just hung out. I did all my school early in the morning, and then I just like hung out. I did some school early in the morning, and then I would just hang out the whole rest of the day. There was nothing to do. I had nowhere to go. I just regulated my own school thing, and online school was horrible. Learned nothing. Some of the programs did not even work. I failed. I forget what it was.
I think it was English.
No, it was Algebra 1. I failed one semester of Algebra 1 just because I couldn't get the computer. I would like get to the end of it and get to where I need to work on it, and it reset back to the beginning. And I couldn't get it to not do that, and I just gave up, and I accepted it. I made up for it later, and it was fine. But that was a weird transition. It made school even weirder than it already is now. It was just a big weird transition, and then I went back next year, and then it kind of went more normal.
For me, it was because I'm a year older than him, so it was during the middle of my sophomore year. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sophomore year. And I don't know, it was so weird, like, especially because I was living in Fruita at the time, which is closer to the Utah border. There was a lot of wildfires going on too, and so.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It was really bad.
It was so smoky around that time.
A lot of kids couldn't come to school because they had asthma problems, and you can't keep the mask on all day while it's like literally raining ash on you. You would go out to your next class and it would be raining ash like all day.
This whole side of the state was pretty gross like that for that whole year.
It was so bad.
I forgot about that.
And then after school fully got shut down, I actually kind of enjoyed it because I was getting bullied pretty bad back in school. And so it was a relief for me. So it was nice to just, be able to focus on bass and focus on other things instead of.
Yeah, because it was probably.
Yeah.
It's probably like a year into COVID you started to pick up bass.
Yep. That's when I got that. I had the shitty bass in my closet by then.
Yeah, that was when you got the shitty bass, and just COVID, you got so much time to do nothing, so you play the shitty bass all day.
I learned bass.
I want to thank the friend of hers who bought her that shitty bass.
So
because it's really where it all started.
He didn't buy it, so actually.
Either way, whoever gave it to her, it's okay that it was a shitty bass, dude. If you're seeing this, because it's really got her to where she is
dude.
now.
So, it was my best friend was dating just some guy, some weirdo, I guess. I hate to call him a weirdo, but I'm sorry. He was a weirdo. I thought he was a weirdo. But he gave me that bass one day, and he gave me this, like, bright orange, like, hunting backpack filled with the free amp that came with it and, like, some cheap Amazon cord. And I loved it so much because I'd been wanting to learn bass because there's this other cool chick at school.
That acoustic guitar she got a couple years before that is so nice. It's such a nice
it's
quality.
His now.
I kind of took it over just because I like guitar and she just let me take it. But it's such a nice, good instrument. And she was given this barely playable bass. But I mean,
out of some guy's closet.
Now that I've heard the story of the bass guitar, I want to apologize to whoever that got stolen from.
I don't know how he got it. He just gave it to me, so I don't take responsibility for that.
Probably just clearing out his closet. Like this is in the way.
That's what I think it was too. He just never played it.
He was clearing out someone's closet.
And now we gotta make like a South Park montage where we apologize to that guy saying, "We're sorry.
We're sorry.
We're sorry."
We'll write him a song.
Oh, that's perfect.
I guess speaking of which, since they're always saying South Park takes place in Colorado, I guess is there a particular spot it takes place in, or is it just a fictional area?
South Park.
So it's the funny thing is the county I grew up in was right next to Evergreen, which is where those guys are from, and I actually went to Evergreen school for a few years when I was like in middle school. Supposedly the rumor is that it's about Fraser, Colorado, which is not too far from my hometown of Empire. But looking at the characters and the way they act, I think those guys followed me and my friends around with cameras and just took notes for a few years and then made a cartoon. It is spot on like the way I grew up. I mean, we even had like the kind of chubby pain in the ass friend and all that stuff. So being the next county over and like within 30 miles from where those guys lived, I'm like, I think they just drove over to Clear Creek County, which was kind of known as kind of a rednecky county. I think they just drove over there and disguised themselves and just lived amongst us for a while and decided to make a cartoon about what they experienced.
I think that whole part of the state has that.
But
for sure.
You really, if you go to any of those towns in the High Rockies, you can find they're pretty spot on with the lifestyle that, you know, what it's like to live in the High Rockies. Some of the zany crap you come across, you know, and that I love that show. We you know, when that first came out, I was just like, this is about Colorado, and I'm like, they just write a story of my life or something. Like they're doing this. This feels like a documentary. You know?
So you're saying you had one of the friends who was pretty much a fat, chubby, Nazi sort of guy, right?
He wasn't quite that bad.
Yeah, not that bad.
He was actually the drummer of my first band, but he was kind of a bratty little fucker sometimes, you know. I loved him like a brother, and literally he was almost literally a brother. He was like at our house every night. We pretty much like lived with him, but it was crazy how spot on it was with some of the, you know, and of course I'm sure that it was a generalization of just what they've witnessed, also being from a mountain town in Colorado. You know, Evergreen is kind of pretty high society, but some of my friends that lived around there, it's got its slums. If you go to the right place in Evergreen, you can see some questionable activities, that's for sure.
That made me wonder if your fourth grade teacher was a transgender person. I forget how Mr. Garrison kind of classifies himself these days.
When I was at the Evergreen Middle School, they definitely the counselor guy, what's his name, Mackey. Oh, he was a real guy. He was when I went to that Evergreen school, I remember him. I can't remember his real name, but that was a real guy. They definitely took that guy straight out of Evergreen Middle School and turned him into a character on the show. He said "okay" all the time and everything. So when I saw that, I was like, this is like really hitting close to home. Then I learned that they were from Evergreen, and everything made a lot more sense all of a sudden. We one of our favorite songs to play is we play America Fuck Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can kind of find a couple of videos of us playing that live and stuff. And, the crowd always goes nuts, and so we definitely owe a little bit to Matt and Trey, for giving us a fun song to play live.
Yeah, it's a blast.
What was the name of that movie again? Because I do remember seeing it with a friend, and I was just looking at it like
Team America is something else. I remember.
Team America, World Police.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, the World Police.
America.
Fuck yeah.
Oh shit! I never laughed so hard, just puking and puking and puking. I was in the theater. I laughed so freaking hard at that scene. Oh, it was funny as hell.
that, or apparently it's the Muslim guy that's giving you the advice. The whole thing is like dicks fuck pussies or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That
It looks like Osama bin Laden. Yeah. So, it was one of those movies like, what the fuck is going on? So, all right.
Yeah, I really like Cannibal the Musical, and that actually takes place in Lake City, which isn't too far from where we're at right now. If you've never seen Cannibal the Musical, that was their first movie. I think they were in high school when they made it. That they did a good job with it. That is hilarious, and not a lot of people know about that one, but it is just funny as hell. The songs and stuff where they're mutilating each other and seeing
You'll have to show me that.
some happy little they rip a guy's guts out. So it's hilarious.
Then again, it would be them. So, all right. That's definitely new. I have not heard about that before. So,
Yeah, it's worth checking out. If you've never seen Cannibal the Musical, man, check that one out. It's definitely worth the watch.
all right. But on a serious note, it's good to see you and everyone else is doing well out there too. And sorry for any losses you had to go through along the way. So,
Oh yeah.
right. So, pray for you guys. All right. So, I guess let's go ahead and jump into Horsepower. I guess your most recent release that you've done. So, I guess go ahead and talk about it a little bit here too. So, I guess what are you guys mainly talking about in that album there?
So this is our first studio album. We have one album released, Backcountry, which we recorded ourselves, and we also have our very first album we ever recorded, which didn't come out very good. We re-recorded all the songs, and that one's ready to release. We'll probably release that here in about a year. But Horsepower is our first studio album. It's very consistent, classic Hillbilly Riot album. It's got the full spectrum, metal and a little bit of country and punk rock.
It's the first album as well with this version of the band.
Exactly, with both of our original
But
music.
even recording the album, the very first song recorded on it, Ashton wasn't even quite ready to record and play yet. And
Yeah.
I filled in on I think on Horsepower, the song itself. Everything else is all,
and some of it all. Yeah.
Some of it all. And Horsepower, I filled in the bass for, and then by then Ashton took off and then did the rest.
It's we try to keep things kind of light. We don't really write like angry songs or political songs. There's plenty of bands already doing that stuff. So, you listen to a lot of our lyrics. A lot of them are about living in the woods, and we're definitely gearheads. You hear us talk about 4x4s and muscle cars through it. We really, that's just kind of what we're about. We just live in. We all come from different backgrounds. If we started talking about our beliefs, not everyone's gonna ever agree with that stuff. So musically, we kind of were just like, you know, I kind of took a note from the rappers on that one. I'm like, let's just sing about cool crap that people like to like say and
Fun stuff.
fun. You know, it's fun to sing along to. You know, it's not too crazy. You know, but it gets deep. There's a couple deep tracks in there where it does get a little deep. So,
but like that was the thing Black Sabbath would do as well, as it like they would do a lot of that, just making a cool song to make a cool song, which
yeah, nice.
Gotta give the shout out to the Black Sabbath.
of course,
At least try to.
Prince of Dark.
Actually, funny enough, I actually got this in London. It was a year before COVID. It actually came about, and then we went back 5 years later, and the shop was closed down.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
we're definitely happy to see, you know, everything bounce back, you know, pretty good after all that. You know.
Especially small businesses around here.
I think it made the scene stronger. I think people really started appreciating the chance to be together and you know, all that. But yeah, we had a good time recording this album. We recorded at Fusion Studios with a guy named Taylor Riley. He's the drummer from Awaiting Eternity, and he's an insanely phenomenal musician all around. And
All of them were. They were also talented.
his drum work is crazy good. They're definitely worth looking up and listening to. Awaiting Eternity.
He made us step up our game a little bit in terms of recording and playing more professionally.
And
just 'cause
timing.
he just gave us lots of little tiny pointers we never thought of. He's just a bright dude.
We'd have a part of a song that we had pretty good, you know, and he'd go, hey,
He'd give me little ideas.
maybe you should double that or try this, and then we do it, and all of a sudden we're like, geez, that's excellent, dude.
He put in his own opinion in little places, and when we loved them, we'd throw them a lot in, and we threw most of them in.
Yeah. So when we had a good time kind of learning our way through the studio, because none of us really have done. I did a studio recording in my first band, you know, and
I witnessed them as a child.
That's cool.
I witnessed the recording of Backcountry on their own mixer and run it all. Some of them are weird because I swear I remember times of like recording the track that is now the version that is out you can listen to. I remember hearing it recorded, some of those. It's kind of weird for me.
but yeah, it's a cool album. I'm pretty happy with it, and everyone I've shown it to has been pretty happy with it.
And
It's true to the form from Hillbilly Riot. I mean, it's got
a good half of the chunk kind of came over from the previous form of the 3-piece Riot.
Yeah.
Brought over. We kind of learned it, threw in our little taste of it, and then wrote a few more songs to fill out the rest of the album.
Yeah, I think there's only one song on there that was written completely from the ground up, which is
Horsepower itself.
no, it's Down the Line is the only song we wrote from this 4-piece lineup completely from the ground up. Every other song on there was either already kind of written as the 3-piece band or was mostly written to the point where we just had to add in those last couple touches. So we're really looking forward to the next album. You know, we've got, I think, 2 songs. We have one that's super solid, ready to go, and where Ashlyn just brought one to the table that's going real good.
But the transition of the band turned to a 4-piece, like me and Ashlyn had a lot of catching up to do to learn the whole Hillbilly Riot catalog, because
it's like 4 hours.
The bar shows they would play, they had a big library of music, and they would rotate and take some off and bring some back. There's still a big chunk that is still kind of missing, that's real old, that we could dive into, and especially a lot of fun covers. They did a lot of fun covers.
And we, being from a small town, you know, we kind of had to figure out how to play our local venues and keep it interesting. So we used to play like these 5-hour shows, and we would mix all different covers along with our originals, and we played everything from Elvis to Slayer. I mean, we make it where, you know,
you played
it was entertaining, and a lot of times we take those songs and we twist them around, make them kind of our own thing, you know. There's not very many covers we play just straightforward.
Yeah, you had your own flair to it. You played I remember you played Helter Skelter for a while.
Yeah,
I want to bring that one back.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
And these days we do keep about 3 hours of music on hand. A mix of covers and originals. And we still once in a while we get that call to go to play a bar, and we make a little money that way. I mean, we bring in a little something when we play those bar shows. They'll pay a little bit better than a 45-minute set, but the bread and butter is definitely that 35-45-minute set of opening up for someone cool. That's our favorite. That's for sure.
Bringing in a big crowd.
But the 3-hour sets, they're pretty fun. We normally have a good time with those, but it's a lot of work.
Actually, like on my part, I'm holding that 5-string that whole time. And I mean, I guess I could go to the 4-string, but the 5-string just has its own sound to it.
The lighter 5-string.
No, I don't want to do that. I like it.
Cut your 5-string in half.
No.
With
That explains why his shoulders are
I like
sore.
to play the
So,
down tuning.
Yeah, I know. I know what it
I'm
is.
trying to help her cut bass in half.
Playing the cover song kind of set. That's what got me to start playing 7-string guitars.
Yeah.
Because I could have that drop string, but still have my full 6 strings underneath
So
it.
Riot,
So
as the 3-piece, always had the guitar is a 7-string guitar, an extra low string, and the 6-string part of the guitar is tuned a full step down D standard, and that extra string is drop compared to everything else, making it drop G in comparison. And then the bass was a 5-string bass set up the same way.
yeah, when we get low, it gets low. It's fun, but
one little thing I do is I got a 7-string right in that time when Ashton started playing bass, and I was gonna do guitar seriously in the band, because I did a couple times for fun, but I was kind of focusing on learning all the bass stuff. But then right when that changed, I got a 7-string. I think it was just a BC Rich.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not its fault.
Not the highest model.
But I like the 6-string. So, and also with the blend of both of those, we lost clarity, and it was hard to get to sound clear. It was hard to get to hear all 3 of us in a good mix.
Yeah, it gets too muddy.
But if they stay a 5 and a 7-string, I play a more traditional 6-string, and I have the more higher end part of the sound. It just makes an even sound.
Typically, he's like the louder guitar as well. It's just a little bit louder, especially when he goes into his leads. And so it's very
I have
helpful.
a lead pedal.
Yes, he does.
I guess, Ash, have you written any lyrics in this group? I don't know if you're doing it for future material or...
Down the line.
That is fully mine in that one. And then, what was the...
she wrote a lot of the lyrics in Some It All.
Yeah.
We had Some It All around for a
Some of
while.
it all
It's
kind of
like
had
half
rough
and half.
lyrics, like that my dad Phil wrote. It kind of had lyrics that he wrote, but he changed them around, reworked them a dozen times, was never happy with them. He made her rewrite
It was on
and reorder stuff.
The day in the studio.
Yeah,
actually.
it was while recording it. He was looking at his sheet lyrics. He's like, I still don't like it. Fix this. She did, and that's the way it is, and it's the best way.
Yeah.
He had a general concept, and I kind of just played around with it.
I remember even because that one was being worked on when I was back in Clear Creek when I was a kid. I remember
one's
they
been
played
around
that
for a
one a
while.
lot. That one kind of took a lot to get fully brought out. Like that one kind of got worked on and slightly twisted all the time.
Yeah. Ashland's lyric writing is phenomenal. I travel for work, so I'm a plow driver for the state, and I go up on Vale Pass in Ashes and Filth, and Ashland does the majority of the vocals for that. So she writes a lot of the lyrics on that, and her lyric writing and singing is just phenomenal. So when she joined up with us, I was really looking forward to tapping into that, and bringing that, and as well as like when I was in school, my mom made me go through choir and everything too.
Yep.
That was kind of the stipulation. I could have my rowdy ass punk rock band as long as like I was a dorky jazz band / choir musician at high school.
I played trombone in school.
Oh yeah, I forget about that. That was cool.
No matter how much you feel like you're dorky when you're in the choir, it sure has paid off now, because
Exactly.
some of the harmonies that me and Ashlyn do together are pretty phenomenal. So that's really kind of paid off, and her lyric writing's excellent. Ashes and Filth, their other band, is definitely worth looking up and listening. It's different enough from Hillbilly Riot, even though it's essentially 3 out of the 4 members of Hillbilly Riot. It's different enough that you don't feel like you're listening to the same band, you know?
No, very different style and feels. Like with Ashes and Filth, we get compared a lot to bands like Tool, for instance. I've gotten Tool a couple times.
Ashes and Filth is more kind of a straight, really hard rock or metal band. Like, it's more straightforward and doesn't dance all over the place like we do here.
Yeah, or like we've gotten compared to Typo Negative before. I heard Acid Bath once. I was like, wow, you think we're as good as Acid Bath?
That's a good one.
Badass.
Yeah.
Like, that was a huge compliment.
I've heard Alice in Chains.
Yep, Alice in Chains.
Yeah, it's cool having her, now that she's fully engaged in helping with the lyrics. She'll come up with good suggestions, because, once in a while you get stuck on something, and she'll, it's nice to have someone else who can say, hey, what about this? And you're like, oh, that fits great. Yeah,
Like, it took me a while to kind of warm up in Hillbilly Riot, just because a lot of it was still Al's original material.
You had so much catching up to do.
Exactly. It was catching up, and also trying to stick to some of the original bass that Al was doing.
She had big shoes to fill. Al was an excellent bass player.
And even, it was pretty easy for me, because I was literally drowning in practice my whole childhood. So, like, it was pretty natural. I kind of knew what he did already. I've witnessed it my whole life. Ashton kind of got introduced to it and then thrown right in the ring to learn it all.
Yeah, it's cool as shit, because we'll feed off each other. She wrote, like the verse lyrics for Down the Line, and I kind of thought up the chorus line, and it was totally inspired from her lyrics. All of a sudden,
then you guys worked it out together.
I was just like, her lyrics inspired me, like, to come up with this cool little chorus thing. You know what I mean? And it just put the song over the top. The compilation of the two of us putting our heads together to come up with, some cool vocals.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, you definitely know the synergy starts to work then whenever you guys start formulating how everything works on a particular song. In this case, Down the Line. So
I started doing a lot more backup vocals too, because before I was just. It took a while to get used to the different style, and also how to kind of make it my own, because a lot of it was still, trying to do Al's stuff, and then I had to learn how to kind of make my own sound and make my own bass. And then after I got the hang of that, I was able to play around with vocals more, because I am originally like a vocalist for sure, like choir.
That's your music origin, is singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing so much cool dual vocal stuff.
And we have kind of the same range too. Like,
it's really weird. There's times where it sounds double, but it's him and her together. They have a very strangely similar range.
Yeah.
That's kind of that quiet. The fact that we're both kind of schooled a little bit, we're able to adjust our vocals. And then Phil's a big dude. I kind of wish he was here. He's 6'7". He's a big dude. So when you hear him when he's singing on the album, he's that big guy.
He's the grizzly bear.
and like, even with Down the Line, me and her, our vocals are so pretty together. And then Phil comes in, and what's his line?
You're gonna get shot.
Yeah, you're gonna get your shot.
When he drops those in there, it just really ties it to the rest of the album so good. All of a sudden, there's these pretty vocals, and all of a sudden he's like, "You're gonna get your shot," all big, and you're like, "There's no doubt about who that is, dude. That is freaking,
Who's that guy?"
He's enforcing the statement.
And then even like the last song on the album, Heroes and Outlaws. I kind of wrote all the lyrics, but with the chorus, I was like, I have too much singing on this album. I really want Phil to get in on this song. And when he did it in the studio, you know, we were trying all hard to get him to like be on key with the music and stuff. Even our engineer was like, try and be on key, and it just sounded wrong. And I was like, no. I was like, Phil, you sing like Phil. I was like, and he did, you know, and then I took care of, like, I kind of stayed on key underneath him, and the combination of the two voices, him almost being big, giant, mean spoken word, and me kind of keeping like the key underneath him, gave it a very unique feel and sound. And it's you only find that with Hillbilly Riot.
I'm gonna say that explains a lot. So at least in terms of like the voice I was hearing, since there's like 3 distinct. I'm sorry, what was that? You got a little cut off there.
Like, it's not me.
Not yet. So. All right. Just one more question before we jump into the extra fun ones. I don't know. Do you guys use any AI for the music and art? And I guess what do you make of it these days?
No.
No,
What's
we
that?
AI.
Oh, I didn't hear you. No.
we definitely kind of. I mean, even just the name Hillbilly Riot, it kind of ensues that we try to keep it kind of old school and
The hell's an AI?
more
Exactly.
more analog than digital, you know. So we kind of, I don't know. I'm not saying that stuff's bad, because some people are doing some real amazing stuff with it, but the more it gets entwined, the more we lose the human touch.
Exactly. I think AI should be used for the boring jobs, you know? Like, there's plenty of people out there trying to make art. Why are we using AI for art? You know? Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Yes, who designed the logo for you guys?
Phil actually does all our artwork.
All of our merch work, all of the designs.
He prints all our shirts. He does all the printing himself. He designs, all the artwork. He does it all.
Of course, like, we do pitch in ideas a little bit here and there.
But he's the master. He's a great artist too. He's an excellent drawer. He does all that stuff. He does
painting. Like, he's into everything.
Yeah. He's got a good eye for all that. So, and he's got a good steady hand. So he'll freehand draw stuff, and it becomes a T-shirt.
Didn't he go to art school?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, if you we need to update our website, but you can go on there and see all our different T-shirt designs that he's done over the years, and they're pretty killer. We got one kind of on the wall up here. You can kind of see.
That's a pretty old one.
Yeah,
But
because that's still a 3-piece shirt, you know.
And the main logo, like what's on your shirt there, that was originally hand drawn.
Yeah, we call this one the emblem. That's our original one, and it looks like it belongs on the side of a 1970 frickin' Chevy Chevelle. You know, it's just got that cool kind of hot rod look to it.
So what's with the ones behind you? The one looks like bacon and eggs with like the design of a skull, crossbones.
Yeah,
one over there.
That's
Those are a lot of his punk shirts.
Oh.
Yeah, so that used to be a diner in Glenwood Springs, Colorado. And my brother bought me that shirt. He was working there. Yeah, the bacon and eggs, skull and crossbones.
Yeah, that shirt's sick.
It says, "I like to eat breakfast, badass like, you know." I'm not just gonna hang out and like cut my pancakes with a knife. I want to cut them with a sword.
Drink black coffee.
And we built this band room when I first moved here. This was actually just like a barn.
The other side looks way cooler.
and so for soundproofing, we bought some of the foam and stuff. But these T-shirts, which are all around the room, different bands I've played with and stuff, they're actually Phil's old silk screening silks. And I put padding in them, then hung a T-shirt over them. So they actually...
so they're kind of like our more foam too, but we get to look over our shirts.
They act as like a level of soundproofing as well, but they also give you a little something to look at, you know. Besides,
it's not just a mess of foam. We have random old ancient shirts that are half destroyed.
Yeah. Like that one, you could tell you're totally on the grinder or something with that.
Yeah, I don't think you can see that one.
It might have been on fire.
That too.
that shirt's from back when I was a pretty hardcore skateboarder for a long time, and my shirts used to get shredded up pretty good from eating shit along the freaking pavement of the city, you know. So they'd get shredded up, and I always wore them with pride once they get to the point where you're getting good ventilation through them.
That were your whole belly button sticking out and it's like a crop top.
Yeah, that was normally time to retire them, but I'd keep them around,
Well, so you're really into like the Tony Hawk and those sorts of guys. Did you try to imitate some of their stunts?
Yeah, a little bit. I liked, skateboarding. I was big into like the street skating versus like, half pipes and ramps and stuff. Did a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And then being from the mountains of Colorado, naturally, I got into snowboarding, and I was in a couple videos, some small local videos, and I had like a couple small shop sponsorships and stuff. So I took it pretty serious. I always like to give it my all, whatever I'm getting involved in. I like to really push for it. And I miss all the skateboarding and snowboarding and stuff, but you start getting beat up after a while, and I got to try and keep myself in one piece to keep a roof over my head these days.
Yeah, we can't mount the medical bills and all that stuff. So yeah.
I rode BMX bikes throughout school pretty seriously, and I kind of stopped it for the band because it would make my hands hurt and shit, and just worrying about breaking my hands, and just the combo of doing that all the time or anything, I'd get such bad hand cramps up to my elbow, and it was just too much, and the bike just quadrupled that problem.
I was also I was never into BMX or anything, but I was riding my bike a lot too, and it was the same thing there, because I would go on really, probably not as long as you would. You would do day long giant trips.
We would do ridiculous trips. We would ride to the next city over. We would ride from here to Delta,
which I always wanted to
2 in the
do,
morning.
but none of my friends wanted to do that. So I never got to go quite as far as Gage did.
And we would look for stupid big stuff to jump off on the way there.
Yeah, I didn't do that part either. But I would ride my bike all the time. What are you doing?
It's falling apart.
I had the same wrist problems too. Your wrist will just go numb after a while sitting there on
just
the
position
of that.
Like this forever. And also the combo of the constant squeezing to hold on, and comparing to the squeezing of playing an instrument, particularly a guitar, it'd make my wrist freaking die.
Which technically you can do, even mechanics get that problem too. If you're doing a lot of oil changes and stuff like that, it's always that same motion.
You get to move in different positions though. Bike and guitar, you're always like this, and like this, and even when I drive a car too long,
I know it's always the fret hand.
It's more my left hand.
Exactly, it's always that hand.
But I've had that problem significantly less after I stopped riding my bike all the damn time.
Yeah,
I'm like 3 times a year rider now.
I didn't care so much. I used to huck myself off 40-foot cliffs with no regard for whether I was able to make the next show.
Sounds about right.
And I'm still good at doing dangerous stuff. I just I get paid for it now.
Yeah. And I guess it's going to tie with some of the extra fun questions, but I guess what other hobbies do you guys do outside of music and mechanics?
I do a lot of baking. I love baking. I do a little bit of everything because I'm fueled by just ADHD, and so I'm constantly going from one thing to the next thing. So I have a mix of just every hobby ever. So it's I like baking and cooking a lot. And then I like doing, let's see, there is more. I'm just trying to rediscover it. Oh, I used to write a lot. I would try to do book stuff, especially back in school. But as I would progress through the chapters, I would end up stopping because I would get an even better idea and say that I was going to go back to that book and start writing a new one. And so I would never fully complete a single book. And I just haven't had time to go back and write since, just because we're so busy with constant band stuff all the time. And then, of course, having classic cars, you're always having to work on your car. I had to get towed out of town the other day in neutral.
Yesterday.
Yeah, because my car was being a dick.
It was about 24 hours ago.
Yeah. I still posted a cool picture of it and everything. I acted like I drove it there, but it did not, in fact, drive there on its own.
No, for me,
No.
the old car stuff definitely takes over a lot. As
It does.
next primary hobby.
I definitely I cook a lot. I do that. I get it.
Why don't we cook together more,
Yeah.
huh? We should cook together more.
We need to add those into our videos. Me and Ashlyn cooking and just using foul language.
It would just be so chaotic with you and I in the kitchen. I feel like it'd be horrible.
All the cooking videos I look up, they're so proper and stuff. I need to be like, you have some fucking eggs over here.
Like Gordon Ramsay.
But
like the same instructional video.
I also
opposite of professional.
Oh yeah.
I like to get out and get out in wildlife, get out, go four wheeling, camping, stuff like that. That pretty much keeps me busy.
Uh-oh.
What do you do when you're not rocking out playing guitar, Gage?
Either working or messing on my car. I'm pretty.
It's time consuming.
Yeah, it is. Well, and then even when it's not time consuming, you make it more time consuming for yourself, and then you find something else to make it even harder on you.
And then something breaks.
It's kind of a disease.
Yeah.
I taught these guys how to weld a little over a year ago, and
so much fun.
That just gave them even more stuff to do.
Yeah, now we can build cars.
Like with my classic car, it's a lot of rust.
Yeah,
so
her car is pretty.
It's pretty bad. It's like I have a fully working drivetrain that is like perfect mint drivetrain attached to
a block of Swiss cheese.
Yeah, pretty much. So I have a lot of welding and fixing.
It drives so good, though. It's ridiculous.
I know, until yesterday.
Ignore that. It drives so good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I guess delving quick into the next one. I guess which ones would you say is your favorite food?
Ooh, that's hard. What's your favorite food?
Right now, red meat.
I knew you were going to say that.
Big beef steak.
Every time. It's always been steak.
Eat meat. Eat meat.
Ew.
Red meat.
Just too much steak.
Potato.
I've never seen you eat a potato.
Yeah, that's because I eat too much red steak.
He gets full before he gets to the potato.
Yeah, I'm the one who eats his potato, actually. So
her favorite food is potatoes.
No.
Eat the potatoes. Say it.
Yeah. I'm lactose intolerant, actually, which really sucks. And my favorite food is probably pizza. So it's very contradicting there. I always have to take those they're called lactate, and it's a lactose enzyme that you ingest so you can eat food with lactose more comfortably. But that doesn't fully work. Like, you still feel it after you eat pizza. Like, it is pure pain. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pizza's great. Especially homemade. Like, you make great dough too, because you worked at a pizza place.
Yeah, I worked at Bojo's Pizza for a long time in Idaho Springs, which is a pretty famous little place. So some of the people who see this probably recognize that. I have a hard time saying what my favorite is because I like to cook so much different stuff.
Yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite. And I picked the most generic thing ever.
Yeah, me too.
I'm kind of like ridiculously good at cooking, so there's a lot of meals I've made in my lifetime that I'll never be able to duplicate, and they were so freaking good, and I'll never know how to make them again because I just make it up as I go.
The favorite food that I make, and it's the same with Bud. It's like I'm constantly making different stuff, so it's kind of hard to stick to the same thing. But a recipe that I do keep bringing back is birria tacos. Those are super good. And then I also like homemade tomato soup. It's just, those are both delicious meals.
I remember I made these pork chops for my father-in-law once, when I was hanging out with my wife and her family, and I made some sort of sauce out of apple juice concentrate and
ooh, that does sound good.
And I cut holes in the pork chops and stuffed them with apples, and they came out so good. And my father-in-law, year after year, you got to make that again. And I tried so hard to duplicate it, and I never was able to nail it again. Every time you're like, it feels good, but it just wasn't the same as that first time. I'm like, I don't even know how I did it, dude. It was good though.
Good apples that day.
All right, that's all pretty interesting choices. So, I guess first off, you want to show off your ink? I guess who did the tattoos for you guys?
Oh, I might be the only. I think I'm the only one in the band. You got tattoos?
I want to get tattoos,
Shouldn't have any.
but every time I want to get tattoos, a car problem arises, and I have to do that first. So, of course, I have my septum, and I would like to get a couple more piercings too. But, yep, I gotta fix my car problems first.
I'm boring. I have nothing, and I plan to get nothing.
Yeah, he has long hair.
We'll tattoo him in the middle of the night one night or something. You know.
Oh, that'll be great. That's a great idea.
I don't have a whole lot. Tattoos are pricey. I like them and all. I have my independent skateboard cross on my arm. I think that's my first tattoo I ever got. This is my Scottish family crest, my Stuart family crest. This was given to me by a real good friend of mine, and he became a really good tattoo artist, and I had all the ambition in the world to start getting a bunch of tattoo work from him. And he unfortunately very suddenly passed away at a very young age, just out of nowhere. It was probably one of the most devastating losses I've experienced in my life, just because it was so sudden and he was so young. So I had a hard time. I still have a hard time just going and just letting anyone tattoo on me, because he's such a good friend of mine for so long. Grew up together and stuff. I got this one.
That one's my favorite.
This was actually like a cover up. I got that from some real shitty tattoo artist in his back, his garage. And it was originally from this band, The Criminals. I used to go see this punk rock band. I think they're out of, I want to say Pennsylvania, The Criminals, and they're freaking super cool. They're on Lookout Records, and whenever I'd see them play live, I'd normally end up hanging out with them a little bit, afterwards. And so I got that tattoo, and I just never did anything with it. So last year, my wife surprised me with little tattoo money and told me to do whatever I wanted. So I kind of wanted to get it touched up. So I kind of threw in the star with the lightning bolt and kept some of the original 13 and stuff, So it came out cool, and I had them spruce up the horseshoe a little bit, make it look more like a real horseshoe, because it was pretty shoddy before. My wife kind of was like, "I'm sick of looking at that thing. You need to do something with it." And I was like, "All right." So I finally bit the bullet and went and got tattooed again for the first time in a long time. But 4x4 and car parts are pricey, so that's where all my tattoo money goes.
Yep, exactly.
Always back to the cars moment. So, all right.
Is with us.
Well, and and then music equipment too.
Music equipment is expensive.
And I mean, I can't.
That's when you have to buy so many car parts.
We can't say much because our drummer probably drops 3 times what we drop on instruments.
Oh, totally.
I think Gage. How many guitars do you own, Gage?
Oh my God.
Me own?
Yeah.
We're gonna be here a while.
I'm at the 9 or 10 mark.
He's got a ton of guitars. They're all super cool too. I kind of just stick with my 2. I have a BC Rich Warlock 7-string and an Ibanez RX7 7-string, and I hot rodded those out with some DiMarzio pickups, Liquefier, and a Crunch Lab pickup, and been a pretty kick-ass combination. But for me, if I have a guitar and I don't play it for a while, I normally ship it off and just stick with the 2 I use.
Yeah.
I have 1 or 2 guitars that are almost strictly decoration at this point, but they're too cool. And it was like a $50 guitar, and it looks cool.
Wait, which one's the $50 one?
The 7-string.
The BC Rich.
The guitar I tried to play in Riot initially, and then decided I just want to stay on a 6.
And he doesn't play it, but every time I'll try and fiddle with it, he just comes over and picks it up, and he'll start fiddling with it.
It's a fun guitar.
Say like, hey, if all worst comes to worst, you could try to maybe ship it off to a Hard Rock Cafe, put it up there, and then just say it was made by some random guy out of Colorado from Hillbilly Riot. His name is Gage.
It was part of the band. It was almost never used ever, but it's been like in the presence.
It's been played like a couple times.
I think it did play one show.
Oh yeah, it did. I do
Like
remember
one.
that. Yeah.
And it was kind of a more private wedding show thing. But it did technically play one event.
In the presence of the Dark Lord. So yeah.
Really, guitar used to be Al's. It used to be the old bass player's guitar that I bought.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I bought that off of Al.
But that's cool.
So it has been in Riot for a long time, longer than me. But it never did anything. Like I said, it's just in the background. This whole time.
Witnessed. That's what it did. So yeah.
It really
Right.
but
Yeah.
it never gets involved.
I guess moving on to the next one here. I guess which ones would you say is your favorite movie? And then what's your favorite TV series if you got one?
Favorite movie?
I think lately my favorite movie is Constantine. I'm excited for the second one to come out. Like Keanu Reeves in that movie was just phenomenal. I love his acting. And then TV series. It's kind of hard. I don't watch a lot of TV. I move around too much. If anything, I watch more YouTube than TV, and all my YouTube is it's either people playing video games or like this one small creator. She just thrifts all the time, and you watch her go through her closet and like donate things. That is my favorite content right there. Like you just watch. She's like a punk. She's super cool. She has like this green hair, and she just goes through all her clothes. And she has like a Depop, so she'll donate her stuff on there. Like I love it so much. It's just that cute little stuff to put on while you're eating.
I have a hard time thinking of my favorites when I think of stuff like that.
It's like you'll think of it when we're gone.
I don't get to sit down and watch like TV shows too much, but I really liked the most recent one I liked was Primal. I forget, it's the same animator from like I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's the same
Samurai
animator.
Jack.
Samurai Jack, yeah. And he did such a good job with Primal, and I love like dinosaurs and stuff. So, he did such a good job with that. I was just glued to that, and I haven't even started the second season yet. It's been out a while, but that first season was just so good. I just loved every minute of that. So I think he did a real good job with that. That's favorite movies. There's so many movies. I think one of my favorite of all time is Idiocracy. I just that movie's got so much good stuff in it, So
Oh, Wayne's World is another one of my favorites.
Wow.
Wayne, exactly. I love it.
For shows,
We're not worthy.
for shows, I could easily pick South Park, like we were talking about earlier. It's doubly as funny when you're a Coloradan and you can witness and relate to things that happen, and it's so hilariously accurate in so many ways.
Oh, Metalocalypse.
Metalocalypse.
And then I would say for me, I watched a lot of Futurama growing up. I love Futurama.
I never got into that one. He would always make
And
me
it's
watch it
back,
with him
and I'm
though.
kind of behind. I haven't watched hardly any of the new stuff. I rewatched my old original CDs a dozen times.
I got a question for you guys. Have you ever been to Casa Bonita?
I think I
Like
have
when
as
it
like a
was
little
closed.
kid.
I don't think they've ever had a chance to go to Casa Bonita. I
Oh,
must
We should go too, because it's got like Cartman in there now, huh?
Yeah.
Like, with a big old statue.
We went there like a year or two ago when it was still under construction. We literally just went to the front of the parking lot. We're like, wow, Casa Bonita. And then just took
The
a picture
security
and
was
left.
all out there too.
Yeah, it was weird. Even though it looked completely desolate and nothing happening, there was full security.
Yeah.
You should go get your cord.
Yeah, I'll go get a cord really quick.
No, it gives us time to awkwardly talk without Bud here.
Yeah, that was funny. There was definitely full security going on, and we were just taking a picture of us standing out front of an empty parking lot. That is Casa Bonita.
Oh, that trip itself was so... Oh my god, that trip was so much fun.
Yeah,
Except me being sick during it was not fun though. Like I got super sick
but it
during that
was.
trip.
We knew it was closed, but we made it. We were in the area, so we made it a point to just the least take a picture of us looking at it.
Yeah, we went, Gage and I went with, they weren't my buddies at the time, but then he introduced me to his old friends.
As a graduation, we kind of graduated at the
Yeah.
time, me, not her. And we went and saw
Ringo
the
Starr.
Ringo Starr tour and his all-star show. That was so good.
Yeah, Edward Winters was.
It's such a mix of music because everyone in that band takes a turn being the band of the band.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
You know,
I guess I just wrapped my head. I was gonna say, I think I just wrapped my head around it that Caspadena is actually a real place.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is a real place.
I've been there. It was closed.
Yeah, we didn't go inside, but
There was a
we should
big,
do that
there was
too.
a big authority-looking guy that had the earpiece in, standing at the door
Very menacingly.
and bored.
There's no action anymore, so yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, all right. I guess while we're waiting on Bud to come back, I guess what sort of music you guys been getting into recently?
Yeah, what are you into?
I get pretty stuck in my same old stuff.
Yeah, he does.
A lot like them, and especially because my dad, I was brought up with a ton of Black Sabbath and a lot of Metallica. And then, of course, I've always just listened to Hillbilly Riot itself. Like, we've just always had all of the CDs as a kid because I witnessed the whole thing. I kind of listened to a lot of that as a kid, too, really, and just a lot of our own stuff.
Busting out the pride chord, huh?
Yeah. Nice.
And then Deep Purple and stuff, too.
Yeah. Which really, I kind of, my dad's best buddy, our
It's all
cousin,
your
he kind of
fault.
brought me onto that. And actually, Spotify Wrapped said I'm like a top 0.58% listener of Deep Purple using Spotify.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Almost no one listens to more Deep Purple than I do using particularly Spotify.
My music taste is like all over the place.
It is.
So I still have some of my like childhood stuff that I grew up with on my playlist, especially Incubus. I have a lot of Incubus on there, Chevelle, Deftones. But then besides that, I also like rap as well. Lil Darky is one of my favorite rap artists, and Break Hence. And then don't laugh at Lil Darky, okay?
I'm not laughing. It's
Look,
just,
he's a great artist.
just,
And even Lil Darky isn't really rap either. Like, when you listen to one of his albums, he also switches genres the whole album too, which is what I love about him, is it's not just rap. He does like Midwest emo and soft little stuff too, a little bit of country, like and then death metal too. Like, he does all over the place in one album, which I love that about him. And then what was the other band? I've been into this more like hippie band lately called Ocean Alley. I love them so much. Like, every album I've listened to so far, I listened to the whole album, and all of it is on my playlist because they're just such talented musicians. And then my favorite song lately is Machine Gun by Portishead. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music lately.
Do tell.
I listen to all different stuff, and my album taste changed time to time. But I'll say the two biggest albums I think that influenced me to where I'm at now, when I heard them at a young age. Number one album for me still that every time I listen to it, I just love it, is Offspring Ignition, their second album. That was a huge influence on me.
That's a good album.
And I think I remember the first day I heard, Nevermind, by Nirvana. The first time I heard that intro, the guitar intro for Teen Spirit, that also did something to my brain. Being from small mountain towns, it's not like I had exposure to hard punk and metal anywhere I looked. So those two albums kind of got me rolling, and then I kind of started discovering some of the bigger punk names like NoFX and Pennywise. And I started getting to the Denver scene and learning about the cool record stores. And from there, I started getting deeper and deeper. But my favorite, number one show to go see is still the local bands in whatever scene. I've always had more fun at the local shows than the big ones.
There's definitely a good section of my music playlist that's just local bands we played with that I've just added their stuff on.
There's so many bands out there that are easily as good as your big name bands. They choose to live a different life. And not all of us who
want to be famous, who
play music, want to go hang out on the tour bus, and do drugs and hookers and stuff. So, I've learned that those small bands that they're some of the best bands in the world. And just because they're not making a ton of money and everything,
it doesn't mean they're not talented.
No, it in my opinion, most time means they're more talented because they can probably do more than just play music and look pretty.
They're more passionate because they're doing it anyway.
One of my favorite local bands, they have a funny name, but actually I'll explain their name in a second because they did an Instagram post on it today. But they're called Edging for Brownies, which a lot of people, because that's like a buzzword with edging, but actually it's not that, because they posted an Instagram thing explaining it.
They clarified.
Yes.
They clarified the activity that they're doing for the brownies.
So what they said on their Instagram is, I can't put it as poetically as they did, but they said that from the time the brownie was invented, there's people that like the edge of the brownie, and the people that like the middle of the brownie. And that separated people because everyone likes the middle section of brownies. And so the band Edging for Brownies brought together both sections of the brownie community and reunited all of them under one banner. That's what they say.
They went a long ways around the real meaning. I can tell they really dug for that one.
It's the edge. It's the people that like the edge.
I don't know. I'm starting to see it. I don't know.
Because I always pick that one too. I always like the brownie that's on the edge of the pan too. Like that is the best brownie.
That is
the best brownie.
Corner edge.
Exactly.
People are allowed to be wrong because we all know the center's the best.
I mean, we know where they're going with this too. So I mean, should we even pretend at this point?
You're allowed to grab more than one brownie a lot of times. Well, you maybe not, but you do it anyway.
The point was, they're a great band. They're like super grunge. I would definitely compare them to like Alice in Chains. Like definitely like grunge and punk a little bit. They sound phenomenal. I love them.
Nice. All right, sounds good. But we are almost out of time right here too. So I guess before we jump into the last question, how would you guys ask me a question? We'll do one apiece. Do you got any questions or want to say any final words?
You play in a band?
Yeah, that's a great question.
More of a studio band, not a legit band. But I do drums and vocals for my one band called Demiurge.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah, you have to text me that so I can read.
Yeah, so he could show the rest of us.
So I could read it, you know what I mean? And that way I can spell it right when I'm looking it up.
That too.
Might be a little hard because there are a couple other Demiurges out there, which I think are all in the rap, hip-hop sort of scene right there. They probably just don't do jack shit, really.
Yeah, you have to send me a link. I always like to check out,
Yeah, we all do.
Stuff, so have to send me a link to that. I'm interested to hear it.
Sweet.
You guys got questions for him?
What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, wait. I died.
Perfect.
So, yeah. But in all seriousness, I've always had a thing with blue and then a little bit of red every now and again. So
American flag colors.
Not that far. I'm not that patriotic, to be honest.
I think green is the best color. My personal opinion.
What's your question for him?
I'm horrible at questions. I have to think of one.
That's not a question.
Hey, give me a second. I have to think.
if train A is traveling at 22 miles an hour
Oh my
and train
God.
B is traveling northwest at 23 miles an hour, how hard are they going to hit each other, and how many lives will be lost?
I don't think anyone's walking away from that. I think everyone's dead. So
Okay. Okay. My question is, what is your favorite song at the moment?
ooh, it's kind of getting a little bit tough because since
No,
I
it
also
is a
do
hard-
drum, I'm also doing a whole bunch of drum covers, and I'm like trying to pick out songs that I want to do for next year. So I kind of dug back into Behemoth and listened to their Demigod album, and I think the one that's really caught my attention and one that I'm going to cover at some point is Agalock, and it's Falling Snow. That's what it's called.
That sounds cool. What type of genre is that?
It's a heavier metal, so it's more melodic, if anything.
That's what I was figuring it was. Like, that totally sounds like heavy metal stuff there.
Melodic metal.
Falling so.
Where are they out of?
And I think they're a Swedish group, actually.
Yep,
It
that
sounds
makes
like it,
sense. Makes perfect sense.
There's always so much cool stuff that comes out from up there.
They might have collaborated. I could be wrong. Maybe look it up. Maybe I thought it was working now that I'm thinking about it. So just look the band up. But they got a cool name and they do some killer music. All right. Anything else? Or is it okay to jump into the last question?
Yeah, last question.
All right.
Yeah, his stomach's been growling this whole time, actually. I'm like, is that you?
That's not because I'm hungry. That's because I ate something questionable.
Now he's feeling the rush. So yeah. All right. So, but Bud, you could go first right here too. So here's how the last question goes. So back then I used to form this question in and around COVID because that was usually the elephant in the room that was always creating a lot of negativity going on in the world these days and causing a lot of heartache depending on who was impacted by it. But these days you see a lot of negativity that's been kind of going around mainly because of the political situation, that sort of stuff. But what would be your message of hope for people and musicians out there so they can move forward with their lives?
Yeah, just always try to find some kind of joy and good in whatever you do, even if it's not music. You just understand that you're part of it. You're part of it all. You're always, whatever you do it means something to someone.
Exactly.
On every minuscule level. You know, it's if you're a dishwasher at a restaurant, you know, just understand you're part of the reason, you know, someone was able to come out and have a good time with their family. You contributed to that on some level. Everything you do is significant, even if it doesn't seem like it directly to yourself.
Exactly. I would say, especially with musicians, a lot of musicians have mental health problems. Like everyone from especially with Kurt Cobain is a famous example. A lot of musicians are people who, were isolated from your normal group of people.
And found music as an outlet.
Exactly. And what I would say is even if not a lot of people hear your music, even if it's just for you, keep making it. Don't stop making it, because it's serving as exactly that outlet for you. Even if it is just for you.
That's a good one.
I have to go now?
Yeah, that's your turn.
Oh.
Dig deep. Dig real deep.
Not too deep, though.
Just, you do your thing, enjoy your part, and that's all you can do. If you've done your role and you filled your end, you can't do everything for everybody. You gotta
Exactly.
you gotta do things for you too. So you do your part and you enjoy what you enjoy and make the best out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what you can do.
Just keep on keeping on,
Exactly.
man.
All right. And spoken like a bunch of true prodigies.
You know what I just saw outside? I just saw a moose. But it wasn't just any moose. It was the metal moose! Metal moose!
Like, I got excited.
Metal
Too.
moose!
I actually saw a moose out there. I was like, what? That was so cool. But no.
No, we have to go up the hill a little further for the moose.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes.
We got some deer out there. Kick your ass though. They're right there in the front yard. It gets dangerous in Cedar Edge. The dangerous streets of Cedar Edge. It's
They're the local
the deer.
eccentrics. They just roam around wherever, lay wherever.
we appreciate you reaching out. You know,
That's a
to
lot of
interview us. We're just a little old small town band, so we don't get a whole lot of people reaching out to contact us and do cool stuff like this. It's been pretty fun. Appreciate that.
You can thank Facebook because you could say your prayers have been answered at that point. All right. But we have reached the end of my podcast right here. But I guess before we close out, would you like to give any shout outs and mention what social media and streaming platforms you guys are on?
You would know the best.
We use CD Baby to release all of our stuff, and they're pretty good about distributing it to pretty much all the platforms. So obviously Spotify and YouTube. You can find us on Apple, Pandora, and even so, some of those websites might have their demons. For a small band like us, it's still our best chance of getting heard. So even as small as Facebook and Instagram, so that's kind of the route we've been going, and it's worked out pretty good. So if you found us on any of those, they must be working, right?
We're doing something, right? So, yeah. And I mentioned about shout outs. I guess you want to give any shout outs? I know you mentioned a couple earlier with the recording studio and I guess some tattoo artists and even the Mesa Theater that you guys have mentioned about in your neck of the woods.
Yeah. The Mesa Theater in Grand Junction has been huge for us for the last couple of years. Awaiting Eternity, probably one of the best metal bands I've ever heard out of Colorado. Titan was always there for us when we first moved out here. We played a lot of shows with them. Super cool guys.
There's a lot of cool local bands out here.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
I want to shout out to our old bass player Al Martinez.
Of course.
We really miss having him around, and he definitely helped the band grow to where it is now. So I want him to know that we're always thinking of him, and we're always trying to do right by him. And I really think he did good by taking a stand and helping be a man in those kids' lives. So it'd be hard for me to sacrifice everything and do that, and I really think he's a hell of a guy for doing that.
Yeah, we'll definitely give him respect for doing that too. But at the same time, be like, Al, come out of retirement. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for sharing right there too. And let's close out like this. Everyone, my guests today were Bud, Ash, and Gage. They're part of the band Hillbilly Riot, the Grand Junction area of Colorado right there. So make sure you go hit up all socials, all streaming platforms. And I guess just real quick, you guys got any other shows lined up? And you mentioned about some new material. I guess, is there an ETA on when it might come out?
It just came out. It dropped on all the platforms, I think, last week.
Yeah. So
we got the physical CDs, and then it hit all the platforms just over the last week, and it's already getting quite a few hits. No big shows on the books at the moment.
We just played
Cancer Slug.
We just played a pretty big show, and we're hoping to expand out. I'm trying to get us out to like Salt Lake City and some of the bigger surrounding towns. We like our little bubble we have here, but next summer I sure would like to travel out a little bit.
It would be fun.
And try and get out into some other cities.
All right. I guess whenever you get around to that, good luck there, boys and gal. So, all right. Everyone, you all stay safe out there because it is one pretty messed up world. So stay safe, rock on. And the last thing, I just need a quick pose from y'all. Stay tuned, y'all.